Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning back in. Glad you can make it back. Hopefully you guys are having a great day. So listen guys, today we're going to be talking about why you should never argue with women. Um, it's no secret, obviously, that men are different from women. The thing that we miss a lot of is that since men have been essentially, you could say, bred to be more of a um, an emotional thinker. Um, we've been conditioned, right, to essentially act a lot like women. And when a woman starts an argument um, over whatever, doesn't matter what it is, um, a lot of times our first reaction is an emotional one, and it's not one of stoicism. Well, then the thing that really separates us from women is the fact that we are stoic, or that one of our traits is stoicism. And if we stick to that, that's why they go off the fucking deep end whenever they don't get an emotional reaction out of us. Um, Women start arguments for a plethora of different reasons. But the biggest thing to understand is that the reason why women are the reason women argue is not because of something that happened in the moment. Now it could be, it's not something that women are arguing, it's their feelings that they're arguing. How are they feeling in the moment? Or how are they feeling that for the past week, couple weeks, months, or years? um, and so obviously, since we're men, we don't really understand the whole emotional thing, right? um, it's just something that we've never really had to understand. um, because we're men, we live a different way. Um, and um, and so it's important to make sure you maintain that stoicism, because the reason that she's trying to get an emotional reaction out of you is to control the situation. Um, as I was saying, a few minutes or a few seconds earlier, um, or a bit earlier, excuse me. Oftentimes women want an emotional reaction out of you, and if they're actively starting arguments with you, there is an underlying issue that isn't being addressed. Well, it is being addressed through her behavior, her actions, but it's not specifically pointed out. um, and that's something that really needs to be talked about. Oftentimes, right, the reason why a lot of women just start shit is because they either haven't been happy or they are very unhappy in the moment for whatever reason. And oftentimes, when they blow up at you, they want to blow up the relationship. Um, Now, everyone does go through their own days. Everyone has certain points in their life where um, people just snap. That's understandable. Everybody has, certain times, right? Me, as someone who struggles with mental health, um, I have my own times when I have outbursts and whatnot. But this is more of a regular occurrence. This is more of a regular occurrence. But that's also if she doesn't really like you, right? And this is kind of the harder truth for a lot of guys to take, because it if she did like you, right, if she does like you, she's not going to cause problems for you, because if she causes problems for you, she causes problems for herself. And so if she's starting shit for seemingly no reason, you got to go, man. You gotta stick with that stoicism. You've got to understand the reasons why she's starting the arguments. Again, because it's something that she's feeling either or in the moment or something that she's been feeling for a while now. And it may not even be about you. And that's the shitty part about it too, is that when I was talking about emotional intelligence, a few videos ago, I'll put it up here. But the thing about emotional intelligence is being able to understand and manage your emotions. But a lot of women, most women today, can't even understand their emotions, let alone manage them. And so, with that, um, if she starts just dumping her emotions onto you, that's a really big sign that she's not a healthy person, obviously. But if you see that, you got to go, man. You really do. You got to go, because ultimately you're not appreciated. Because anybody that's in a healthy relationship also understands that, one, they are their teammate, but that doesn't mean they're their therapist. And when she just dumps her emotions onto you, right? Um, to try to get a reaction out of you, that's that's a form of manipulation. And well, I mean, it outright is a manipulation, because then when you have an emotional reaction, she'll begin to make the entire thing what she started about that. Because it's no longer about what she brought up with you before. Now it's about how you reacted. It's an emotional state. She's in a heightened emotional state. She wants you in a heightened emotional state so that she can argue, justify this new issue. And the thing is, if someone is taking their shit out on you because of because of something else that happened, that's another sign that someone is not deserving of you at all. Way too often, do a lot of guys stay in relationships because they've gotten attached to the toxic, behaviors. Unfortunately, when people only know toxicity, uh, that anything outside of that we don't see as love, right? That's how you know how fucked up you are. Um, because if something normal happens to come your way, you turn your nose at it and you don't want it. That's just, oh, man, this affects way too many guys today, man. It really does. Um, but she shouldn't be arguing with you anyways. There is a way to come together, to sit down and have a honest respectful conversation. If someone is having an issue, you sit down and you have a conversation. You don't bring shit up just to argue about it. I mean, it it's common sense, but a lot of women have also been conditioned to be so um, confrontational and so problematic, right? That they oftentimes weaponize their own emotions, um, to incite your own emotions, and then that's what leads to a lot of the problems in the relationship. And so, just remember to keep your stoicism, man. Don't react emotionally. Don't argue with women, and it doesn't really matter what the argument is about. It doesn't matter. Now, obviously, on one hand, if you did something wrong, absolutely take accountability and own up to it. But On the other hand, if she's just making shit up, and you know she's just making shit up just to start something with you, it doesn't matter what it is. What matters is that she is actively disrespecting you in that point in time, and this is a tactic usually used by women to blow up their own relationships because they're not happy in that relationship. If you want more, if you want deeper information, understanding on how women use this to blow up their own relationships, you can visit the Happy Wife School. Um, Obviously, she's a professional. She's also a woman too. So, you know, she has for my woman here that watches the channel. You can go and check her out too because she's got a lot of information. She's been through it. She used to be one of those women who would just argue, right, um, with her husband a lot, just start shit, and almost blew up her own marriage. Um, here's something to think about. Oftentimes, when women do this, it's not it's not just so they're happy with whatever, or they're not happy with whatever. It's just that they're not happy with themselves. Um, I mean, women have been conditioned in all kinds of different directions. Um, the traditional direction, the progressive direction, and no matter which way they go, they're always attacked. I mean, one from social media, right? And most of the time, it is women. It's always women attacking other women. It's that. It's just it is what it is, man. Um, and so with that confusion, and that lack of understanding, oftentimes, it leads to women who are depressed, anxious, and that leaves them in these heightened states of emotion. Um, and I mean, it would make sense why they would blow up on you. But any woman that truly cares about you and respects you, they're not going to do that. They're not going to do that. Um, but again, also understand that women are emotional, right? And then they will have their own emotional stuff too. Another thing to think about, boys, is that a lot of the times, um, women will uh, use it as a punishment. They'll use their emotions as a punishment. I'll break that down a little bit. Uh, Say you guys are going out to eat, right? And she asks you, where do you want to go, and you have no idea, so you ask her, where do you want to go? That right there, that is where you failed, right? She was testing you to see if you were capable of leading the interaction, the direction. Um, and when that happened, then she then says, you never know where we're going, so I guess I'll pick it. I'll pick where we're going. Um, and that starts an argument. So, um, now in this scenario, you did do something here, right? Because not only have you failed once, but if you were listening, you failed multiple times to lead the situation, to take the initiative, and to pick a direction. And when a guy is indecisive, a woman does not see him as a man. And so when she sees you as something less than a man, she's going to then use her emotions to punish you in hopes that you become that man. You change into that man. There's a reason And I think it's pretty ironic that a lot of times after a breakup, guys change completely. Um, and there's two different reasons for this. One, because he failed completely, because he was never taught or he never developed the skills that he needed to be a confident, strong man, especially in a relationship. And then two, because of the relationship, he began to change. He began to develop the skills, the traits, the all of that stuff. Um, that is specifically prescribed to men or specifically for men, um, and began to better himself. Uh, and so, um, um, I lost my train of thought. um, but yeah, so that's often why you see uh, men have a comeback essentially, um, because oftentimes when they're not seen as men, these women will use their own emotions to punish you for being a quote unquote not a man. So, or quote unquote less than a man. Uh, so that's why I'm telling you guys, make sure you are staying stoic. When she is in her emotional state, you've got to stay anchored. You cannot be moved. Okay. That will do one of two things. One, if she is a toxic individual, right? If she's not worth a fuck, um, she will leave the situation because she can't control you. Or two, because you become or because you are immovable, she becomes that much more attracted to you. I'm sure you've seen stories upon stories, in Reddit where the guy would just walk away, and then she would lose her shit, or she would immediately apologize and start begging for him back. Um, those are two. Those are well, I mean, yeah, yeah, yeah. Those can be two different kinds of women. Um, but yeah. So she will use her emotions to argue as a punishment. She will blatantly or she will actively uh, seek to destroy the relationship because she's not happy in either herself or the relationship. Um, and listen, it doesn't, it might not necessarily be what you're doing that ultimately starts or that ultimately starts things. Um, it could be her friends. So really pay attention to, the type of women that she hangs out with. Because oftentimes women always listen to each other. It's something that what's that's within women's nature to do, right? Because women will always want what women want, right? Um, just weird concept for us to comprehend, but it's just how they I mean it's how they've lived for thousands of years, and it's how they will continue to live. um well, I honestly I would say that's how anything really lives, right? Because we look at celebrity crushes, and that's a really good it's a really good point. um well, everyone really crushed hard on Scarlett Johansson. I was one of them. Don't look at me like that. And almost every guy wanted her. You know, it's the same thing for it was the same thing for Justin Bieber. Almost every chick wanted him, dude. Um, and the thing that separates us, from women though, is that um, we don't immediately uh, follow a trend. We don't do that. Oftentimes, we set trends. We don't follow them. Um, and women are the complete opposite. Women have never had to learn how to set trends. Um, However, they do follow trends. So I guess in a way that is kind of setting a trend because um, if you're promoting something, anyways, um, when women more often than not will follow instead of leading, right? Women's role was never really um, much of a leader, more of a follower, and so and that's just nature. That's just human nature. So um, understand that you as the man, you're not supposed to be arguing. You're supposed to remain stoic, lead the conversation. If she's just blowing up, you take a minute. You take a minute. You calm down. Okay, um, and get to the deeper cause of things. Uh, and then obviously, you need to prepare yourself for whatever's going on. And so a lot of women are not really uh, so conscious to think of the reasons why they're blowing up these arguments, or blowing up into these arguments. And so a lot of them in the moment they don't really think about what they're doing. They're just doing it because it's just a reaction, right? And so again, that's why you need to lead the interaction, be immovable, do not argue, and if she needs to take a second, you tell her to take a second. If she doesn't want to take a second, you walk away, and you just need to get out of that relationship anyways, because you're doing that for both of you, actually, for both of you, um, so that you can prepare to listen, and that she can prepare to be able to tell you what's going on with her, to be able to communicate effectively. And so that's why you don't argue with women, guys. Um, the less you do that, the more attractive you'll become, right? Because men are seen in a specific way, and that's from both men and women, right? So we got to lead the interaction. We got to be stoic, and um, but we also have to protect ourselves and do what we got to do at the end of the day. So um, don't argue with women, guys. It brings nothing but a headache to you, and um, there are no benefits to defending yourself in an argument, none at all. Again, because it's not necessarily about something that you did, but it's about how she's feeling. Now, it can be something about you, and it can be about you, and a lot of the cases it is, um, but it's not always the case. And if that is the case, and you come to that information, you got to go, man. You got to go, because that shows you that she does not care about you. So maybe she does. Maybe she has some mental health problems. Okay, all right, take some time away. I was saying in a video not too long ago, uh, about splitting mutually because of mental health. If you're in a committed relationship already, um, that you've put quite a bit of time into, I can understand not wanting to split up. And so that would be on you all to make that decision, because it's your relationship. I'm not going to tell you what to do, especially as men. I'm not going to tell you what to do, man. It's your decision. But if if you if you feel as though you cannot function in the relationship, you got to take some time, and this is with men or with men or women, right? So, because ultimately, you are more important than your partner. You are more important than your partner. So you got to take care of yourself first. Because if you can't take care of yourself, then you're not going to be the best version of yourself that you can be for them. And that's what you're supposed to be in a relationship. So don't argue. Again, don't argue. Don't argue. Don't argue. Stay stoic. Lead the interaction, and do not have an emotional reaction. Don't have an emotional reaction. Um, so hopefully you guys took something from this video. If you did, please like, share, subscribe. I greatly appreciate that, guys. This channel is continuing to grow, and I hope it really blows up here soon. Um, and I hope the content that I'm bringing from other forms are also something that you guys are enjoying. I'm really loving sharing my projects with you guys, helping you guys out with music and in the military stuff. I really enjoy making these videos for you guys, and I really enjoy trying to help you as much as I can. And like I said, even if I can help one person, I'm that's gonna make my entire life. Okay, guys. So um, uh, I love the growth. I really do, but I really want this thing to blow up. I really do. I want to reach out and help more people, especially men, because this culture needs to change and it starts with us. So help me, guys. Help me change this culture, especially taking down these fucking MLMs. I hate these bastards, man. So help me, guys. All right, help me in this fight. Let's fight to make this culture. Let's change this culture, right? Let's first of all let's change this culture and make it something better, something not just that we get back to what worked, right? But that we get back to what worked and then some. Prosper. So, and like I said, it starts with us. So, guys, let's do that. Um, make sure you are taking care of yourself. Okay, take care of yourselves. Absolutely, both mind and body. If you gotta, if you gotta talk to somebody, go talk to somebody. Okay. But absolutely get in the gym, go work out, or just go walk, get physical, get active of some kind. Um, you don't know when you'll be attacked. You know, from a wild animal, or a just a random guy down the street who's tweaked out on meth and cocaine and whatever, fucking COVID vaccine, just whatever. Um, be be able to defend yourself and your family, because I told you guys, I always tell you guys, men are the foundations of family and nations. So absolutely, you are the one that they look up to, and if you're doing that, then you're also protecting them, and you need to be effective, and you need to be efficient, you need to be competent, capable. Absolutely. So make sure you guys are capable, both up here and physically. And so make sure you're also lifting each other up too. Okay, you're always welcome on this channel, right? If you're looking for information, if you're looking for advice, right? I've had people come to me all the time and um, ask me certain questions, and hopefully I'm able to answer them. But um, it's not just me, right? It's also you guys too. Um, if you guys happen to have nuggets of knowledge that you can drop on all of us, go ahead and do it, man. Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, this the whole point of this channel is a space where men come together and we grow, we learn and we grow. Now, women are also welcome on the channel because I think women could use this information as well. But obviously, this channel is mainly dedicated to men. So, that being said, you know, boys, let's come together, let's learn, let's grow, let's become better men, let's be the best versions of ourselves that we can be. All right. So, that being said, guys, thanks as always for for watching. Brain's kind of fried. I worked out a little bit ago and had to do some errands. So, um, anyways, thanks as always, guys, for watching. I really appreciate it. You guys are rock stars. And I'll talk to you guys soon.